Hi friends, in our last session we have started with our new chapter that was artificial intelligence and data analytics for manufacturing. In that we have seen that what is artificial intelligence, how we can achieve that, how a robot is produced based on that system. Along with that we have even seen some applications of AI and started with application of cyber physical system in machine tools. Also, we have discussed about what is real time, what is hard real time, what is soft real time. In today's session, we are going to continue with the same topic, that is application of CPS in machine tools, by taking an example of a chuck control in a turning operation. This is Fazan Kagdi and I welcome you all to a lecture series of Industrial Internet of Things. So let's begin. Now, our first topic is functional requirements. So, as we these are the requirements which we have already discussed in a previous topic. So, I have listed out all the requirements. So, the first requirement, that is characteristic: an embedded system must determine the information flow and provide an essential function in the process. Now, as we know, the embedded system is the one which combines the sensor and an actuator, right? Basically, a cyber physical system is called an embedded system. Even we can take an example of a washing machine, right? So whatever information we provide or whatever input we give to the machine, let's say a rinse button is pressed, so that is an information. So the embedded system must be able to determine the information, that what information has been received from a user, right? And after determining that information, it has to provide an essential function, right? For example, the rinse button is pressed, which means a circular motion or a rotary motion of a tub has to be started. Okay, so whatever information or input is given, based on that the embedded system has to perform particular function. So that is the first characteristic. Second one is either horizontal or a vertical communication. It has to be implemented in a cyber physical system. Now what does this indicate? So as we know that automation pyramid, right? Automation pyramid has a layers. First layer was a field device, then after comes a PLC, that is programmable logic controller, then after comes an MES, then after comes a ERP, enterprise resource planning. So that was a flow of information, right, in a vertical direction. So that was called as a vertical integration. Similarly, on a shop floor level, the whatever interaction between a machine to machine takes place, or we can say whatever communication between one machine to another machine takes place on a shop floor, so that is called a horizontal integration. Okay, that includes various computer system also which are present in a shop floor. So it is required that flow of information should not be limited only to a cyber physical system, but the flow of information or a communication has also to be taken place with the other devices which are present on a shop floor, as well as with the top level systems such as in a vertical, that is PLC, programmable logic controller, and MES, that is manufacture execution system, which is also required, and it is a most important requirement, remember. Next is a decentralized control of sensors and actuators must be implemented. Now what does this decentralization means? Which means that the control of that particular sensor or actuator must not be located at a fixed location. Any person in a system or in a smart factory must be able to control or monitor or make a changes in that sensor or an actuator. There is a company management person or a production management person or a person or a worker which is on a shop floor, so that person must be able to operate these sensors and actuators. That is called a decentralized control. Then self description as a knowledge about its own status is required, and possible reference functionality and about the internal data must be incorporated in a cyber physical system. This means that whatever task is performed by a cyber physical system, so that system must have a knowledge that what it is going to do further or what it has done previously. That knowledge of a self description must be present in a system, right? And that can be achieved only if we provide artificial intelligence to the system. Okay, now next is a classification scheme. Now this classification scheme, even we have discussed, if you remember the three dimensions we have discussed, that was level of intelligence, right? Then after location of intelligence and level of communication in manufacturing. In a level of communication we have seen shop floor communication with a company management, shop floor communication with a production management, right? And in case of level of intelligence, it includes information handling, then passive problem notification, active problem notification, and then after decision making. So based on a requirement, decision has to be taken. That is a level of intelligence. And another was a dimension was a location of intelligence. Now where intelligence can be located, so it would be located either at a object or it would be located within a network, which means machine to machine communication. Now how machine to machine communication can take place? Only through a network, only through an internet, which means the intelligence stays at which particular location? It stays either with the object, we would say, and second through the network, that is transmitting that intelligence to the network from one machine to another machine. So that was the location of intelligence. So these three are the most important dimensions which we have to remember. We have discussed in our last session. That was, remember, level of communication, level of intelligence, and the third one was a location of intelligence. So that is a classification scheme which must be implemented in a cyber physical system. And next was a real time characteristic. Now adequate communication technologies must be chosen in accordance with the real time requirements of the process. So these requirements must be fulfilled by the solution presented. Okay, now let us move further and take an example as I have told. So the next one is intelligent chuck for turning machine. Now over here you can see in a first diagram, on a top diagram I have shown a automation pyramid. So the automation pyramid is rotated counterclockwise by half. Okay, so you can clearly see that it has been showing a top phase, that is a phase 1, which is a company management level. Second phase is a production management level, and third phase is a shop floor level. Right, so shop floor level was basically a bottom level, that is a field devices were included, right? AGVs, machine to machine communications, the workers which are who are handling the computer system monitoring and optimizing. So all this comes under a shop floor category. Production management level is basically nothing but a MES, that is a manufactured execution system. That is nothing but a system which is going to receive all the informations which are done by the shop floor machineries, right? And another one is a top phase, that is our company management level. So this can be even converted into a cascaded view. So you can clearly see over here a cascaded control is shown. So over here you can see ERP is written. So ERP corresponds to a company management level. MES, that is manufacturing execution system, which is corresponding to a production management level. And machinery will be present at which position? So we would say on a shop floor, right? On a workshop, right? Within a workshop. So these three indicates a cascaded control. So remember the components ERP, MES, and machinery. Now you can see the flow is shown over here. So obviously that whenever a company or a factory receives an order, right, to manufacture some component or a smart product, so obviously it will first receive at a company management level, that is on a top management. So enterprise resource planning is going to receive the order for a particular product. That order will be transmitted and with the necessary information will be transmitted to the production management level, that is a manufacturing execution system. And then making a suitable changes, the production management level will transmit that information with the shop floor management, that is the machineries. And finally these machineries will be operated automatically, right, by a cyber physical system. So remember these machineries are operated by CPS. Okay, automation is fully provided, so the final output will be a smart product which will be produced. Now obviously that we take a feedback of a smart product which is produced. So whatever problem a customer faces in a product can be directly given as a feedback to the shop floor. So if that problem can be solved by the shop floor level, so it will be give a feedback directly to the entry of a machinery. If it is requiring some change in a model or a mathematical model, so that feedback will be given directly to the MES. Over here you can see the control or a feedback is given from this smart product directly to the MES, that is a production management level, that whatever necessary changes can be done within a product design. Okay, based on that further again a production of a product will take place with the necessary changes, right? And if a product required faces some problem which is related to the algorithm use, so that feedback will be directly provided to the company management level. So ERP, enterprise resource planning, will make a necessary change in the algorithm of a product, and then it will transfer whatever data required to the MES and finally to the machineries. So this is how our cascaded control is shown. Now we have to compare this first diagram with our final diagram. Over here you can see which is with the actual CNC machine, computer numerical control machine. So how it is going to be operated and how we can convert our chuck into an intelligent chuck for a turning operation, right? So you can see a first phase is shown. The first phase is resembling to a company management level. Second phase is resembles to a production management level, that is our MES. Remember So this phase over here, you can see in a phase 2 it is written scheduling and calculation. So this will be done by production management level. And third phase is a shop floor phase. So shop floor is basically which machinery phase, right? So this CNC machines is shown, and within a shop floor what will be present? So we know cyber physical system. So this physical system, that is our machinery, is connected with the cyber world, which means our internet connection, right? So that is a CPS. So this is called an embedded system. Over here you can see a CPS is written over here. So whatever signal is there will be given to the CPS. Also PLC will be provided. It is a programmable logic controller. Now what is the purpose of PLC? So whatever repetitive task which we need to perform will be done by PLC, right? For example, a button has to be pressed, so a particular button has to perform a particular function, so that will be stored in the memory of a programmable logic controller, right? So it will execute that particular operation. Also this CNC machine is going to communicate with PLC as well as with the cyber physical system, and also connection is provided to a CPS and a PLC through a field bus. Now what is a field bus? So field bus is nothing but a interface protocol which is going to transfer the information or encoding from a PLC to the CPS or from a CPS to a PLC. So information can be easily transmitted between these two devices. So there is a function of a field bus. Remember, it's a interface or a interface protocol. Okay, phase 1. So let us start with that. Over here you can clearly see I have written phase 1 is a company management level. So that is even called an analysis of a turning process. Now in phase 1 what will be done? So that is, remember, company management level, and in phase 1 ERP is there, enterprise resource planning. Okay, so obviously planning will take place. So in this phase we need to calculate the maximum clamping force which is required by chuck. First of all, we should be clear that what is the function of chuck. The function of chuck is to hold a workpiece, right? Now the workpiece can be of different types, right? It could be a delicate workpiece, a brittle workpiece, a hard workpiece, right? So the clamping force is also to be decided based on a type of a workpiece. Okay, so calculation of a clamping force has to be done, right? The first thing. Then after, we can even use the information in a sales order about a material and a quality requirement by the customer, right? So what is the material for a workpiece which are going to be used? What are the quality requirements? Based on that, even clamping force will be calculated, right? Now this information will be synchronized with the machine status to calculate the parameters for a clamping force. Now the acting force on the assembly element will be evaluated by the motor currents from a turning machine and other signals by using a special algorithm. Okay, now if the analysis yields a noticeable result, then the assembly element are reviewed and it is possible to avoid quality deficits during a further production process. So these are the tasks which are done at a company management level. Now let us see the phase 2. Remember, in phase 1 even all the data is stored in a ERP and in a cloud system, so that can be easily retrieved whenever it is required. Okay, now in phase 2 there is a scheduling and calculations has been done, that is about production management level, MES. So let us see in the next slide. So phase 2 is a production management level, even called a scheduling and a situational production control. Now MES, that is manufacturing execution system, in this application has a variety of functions. So what is the first feature of MES? So the first feature is selection of a correct CNC programs. Okay, remember that for a particular operation which has to be done, which M code or G code has to be taken into consideration. Okay, so that is the first important priority, selection of correct CNC program. Also, a high degree of transparency about a current process is created in a production, which is going to reduce the possibility of the error. Furthermore, the actual force and a pre-positioning value of a maximal force, the position of a chuck and an operating mode of a turning machine are transmitted to the turning machine. So these are the tasks which has to be done at a production level. Okay, that is called a phase 2 scheduling and situational production control. Phase 3 is a task which is done by shop floor management. Okay, so that is what? So developing a chuck control. Now this intelligent chuck controls and regulates the clamping force on a basis of a sensor data. Now basically the sensor which is used to determine a clamping force is called a strain gauge. The function of a strain gauge is to measure the force which is acted on the workpiece. So based on that measured force, intelligent chuck is going to regulate the clamping force. Okay, now this also requires two types of automation. First is a horizontal automation and second is a vertical automation. So in a horizontal automation hierarchy, the chuck is able to communicate with a PLC. So as we have shown, a programmable logic controller which is going to store all the data and a repetitive task or a repetitive functions which has to be performed by CNC machine, right? On this basis, a requirement ability comparison between a product and a chuck can be implemented. So what is the benefit of doing this? So that setup time will be reduced. Okay, there is a clamping time will definitely going to reduce, which is a non-productive time, right? So this is a benefit. Next, furthermore, this self-regulated turning process allows higher product quality and minimum component violation. So further benefit is what? Along with the reduction in setup time, it is going to allow a high product quality as well as a minimum component violation. Okay, next requirement is a vertical hierarchy. So the intelligent chuck is fully integrated into a MES, that is manufacture execution system, through the use of OPC UA. Now what is OPC UA? So it is called an object linking embedding for a process control unified architecture and Ethernet. Ethernet is a internet which is used within the company or within the factory. That is called Ethernet. The ME system thus represents the centralized information platform that enables the situational control decision and scheduling. So remember that in a vertical integration, the chuck is connected with a MES, that is manufactured execution system, by using what? So by using a two things, two requirements. First is the Ethernet and second is the OPC UA. It is a unified architecture connecting the chuck control along with the MES, manufacturer execution system, that is our phase 2 production management level. Okay, now what does it represent further? So it represents a centralized information platform that enables a situational control decision and orders scheduling. Okay guys, so I hope that you are clear with the development of a chuck control, that is intelligent chuck for a turning machine. So in today's session, we are completed with our topic of application of a cyber physical system in a machine tool. In our next session, we will see digital production, which is the next topic of this chapter. So till then, stay tuned and thank you all.